Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSPs. Part 1. Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSPs. The Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSP, as a unique feature of the Indian Constitution, aims to guide the nation toward the establishment of a just and equitable society. Embodying the ideals of social and economic democracy, they serve as a compass for the governance of the country. This article of NEXT IAS aims to study the Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSP, its meaning, constitutional provisions, classification, features, significance, criticism, and other related aspects. Constitutional provisions related to DPSPs. Articles 36 to 51 in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution contain detailed provisions regarding the Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSPs. Note: the idea of the Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSP, in the Indian Constitution has been borrowed from the Irish Constitution. Definition of state, Article 36. As per Article 36, the term state in Part 4, DPSP, has the same meaning as in Part 3, fundamental rights. Thus, the term state for the purpose of Part 4, DPSP, includes the following: the Government and Parliament of India, i.e., the executive and legislative organs of the Union Government, the Government and Legislature of States, i.e., the executive and legislative organs of the state government, all local authorities, i.e., municipalities, panchayats, district boards, improvement trusts, etc., all other public authorities in the country. Application of principles contained in Part 4, Article 37. As per Article 37, the provisions contained in Part 4, DPSP, shall not be enforceable by any court. Nevertheless, these principles are fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. Classification of Directive Principles of State Policy. Though the Constitution has not classified the directive principles, based on their content and orientation, they can be classified into three broad categories: socialistic principles, Gandhian principles, liberal intellectual principles. Socialistic principles. Embodying the ideology of socialism, these principles lay down the framework of a democratic socialist state. Overall, they strive to establish a welfare state by providing for social and economic justice. Articles. Article 38. Description: to promote the welfare of the people by securing a social order permeated by justice, social, economic, and political, and to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities, and opportunities. Related initiatives taken: Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Public Distribution System, MNREGA, establishment of the National Commission of Scheduled Castes, NCSC, establishment of the National Commission of Scheduled Tribes, NCST. Article 39. To secure the right to adequate means of livelihood for all citizens, the equitable distribution of material resources of the community for the common good, prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production, equal pay for equal work for men and women, preservation of the health and strength of workers and children against forcible abuse, opportunities for the healthy development of children. Maternity Benefit Law, Integrated Child Development Scheme, Minimum Wages Act of 1948, Equal Remuneration Act of 1976, Rural Livelihood Mission, and Urban Livelihood Mission, Promotion of Self-Help Groups, SHGs, Mission Indradhanush. Article 39A. To promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor. National Legal Services Authority, Pro Bono Legal Service, Nyaya Mitra Scheme. Article 41. To secure the right to work, to education, and to public assistance in cases of unemployment, old age, sickness, and disablement. National Social Assistance Program Annapurna. MGNREGA Act of 2005, Persons with Disabilities Act of 1995, Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizen Act 2007. Article 42. To make provision for just and humane conditions of work and maternity relief. PM Matritva Vandana Yojana, Maternity Benefit Act of 2017. Article 43. To secure a living wage, a decent standard of living, and social and cultural opportunities for all workers. 4 Labor Codes, MGNREGA Act, Social Security Act of 2008, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rojgar Yojana. Article 43A. To take steps to secure the participation of workers in the management of industries. Labor laws such as Factories Act 1948, Industrial Dispute Act 1947, Contract Labor Act 1970, etc. Trade Union Act of 1926 Amalgamation of labor courts. Article 47. To raise the level of nutrition and the standard of living of people and to improve public health. National Food Security Act of 2013 Poshan Abhiyan, One Nation One Ration Card. Gandhian Principles. These principles are based on the Gandhian ideology and represent the program of reconstruction enunciated by Gandhi during the national movement. Articles. Article 40. Subject matter. To organize village panchayats and endow them with the necessary powers and authority to enable them to function as units of self-government. Related initiatives taken. 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 Panchayats, Extension to Scheduled Areas, Act 1996. Article 44. To secure for all citizens a uniform civil code throughout the country. Special Marriage Act of 1954 Hindu Code Bill of 1956. Article 45. To provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. Integrated Child Protection Scheme, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Scheme. Article 48. To organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines. ENAM, Soil Health Card Scheme, Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Article 48A. To protect and improve the environment and to safeguard forests and wildlife. Indian Forest Act of 1927 Wildlife Protection, Act of 1972 Environment Protection, Act of 1986 Biological Diversity Act of 2002 Green India Mission. Article 49. To protect monuments, places, and objects of artistic or historic interest which are declared to be of national importance. National Historic Preservation Act of 1966. The Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act of 1958. Antiquities and Art Treasure Act of 1972. Article 50. To separate the judiciary from the executive in the public services of the state. Doctrine of separation of powers is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Independence of judiciary is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Article 51. To promote international peace and security and maintain just and honorable relations between nations. To foster respect for international law and treaty obligations and, to encourage the settlement of international disputes by arbitration. Non-alignment movement, NAM, Panchsheel Doctrine, UN peacekeeping operations. New Directive Principles of State Policy. The list of directive principles, as contained in the original Constitution, has undergone some changes over the period of time. Various constitutional amendments have added some new directive principles to the original list. Also, some existing directive principles were modified through constitutional amendments. The 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. The 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 added 4 new directive principles to the original list. The new directive principles added by this constitutional amendment are listed below. Articles. Article 39. Subject matter. To secure opportunities for the healthy development of children. Article 39A. To promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor. Article 43A. To take steps to secure the participation of workers in the management of industries. Article 48A. To protect and improve the environment and to safeguard forests and wildlife. Thank you.